Welcome back to FZ Architecture, where we explore some of the most important and inspiring architectural works from around the world. Today, we're looking at a masterpiece designed by one of the most influential architects in history, Frank Lloyd Wright. This is the Bernard Schwartz House, also known as Still Bend, located in Two Rivers, Wisconsin. A project born from a visionary idea published in Life magazine, this house is a perfect example of Wright's Usonian philosophy, functional, affordable, and harmoniously integrated into nature. In 1938, Life magazine invited several prominent architects to design a dream home for a typical American family with an annual income of $5,000. Frank Lloyd Wright submitted a design that challenged conventional norms, an open plan, fluid spaces, and strong connections with the outdoors. Although the magazine chose another architect for the publication, Bernard Schwartz saw Wright's design and decided to make it a reality for his own family. The house was completed in 1940, and it remains one of the very few Life magazine dream houses actually built. Its location in Two Rivers near Lake Michigan gives it a tranquil natural context. The house is positioned near a bend in the East Twin River, hence the poetic nickname Still Bend. Let's talk about the architecture. The house is strategically oriented to face the river, allowing natural light to flood the interiors throughout the day. Wright was meticulous about integrating the home with its environment. This is a two-story structure with over 3,000 square feet of interior space, unusually large for a Usonian home. On the ground floor, the long and open living space is the heart of the house, running about 65 feet in length. This space combines living, dining, and reading areas into one continuous flow. The layout is based on a modular grid, which is typical in Wright's work. The geometry provides order and rhythm to the composition, guiding both the structure and the flow of the spaces. From this grid, Wright develops a house that feels both expansive and intimate. The main entrance is positioned discreetly to the left, creating a sense of approach and discovery. As you enter, there's no formal hallway. Wright brings you directly into the core of the house. The heart of the house is the long, linear, open space that combines the living and dining areas. This room stretches over 20 meters, subtly divided by built-in elements like cabinetry and furniture. On one end, there's a large fireplace, anchoring the social space both visually and physically. What's striking is the row of continuous clerestory windows and floor-to-ceiling glass doors that open toward the terrace, creating a powerful relationship between the interior and the river landscape. The heart of the house is the long, linear, open space that combines the living and dining areas. To the left side of the plan, separated by a corridor of service spaces, is the master bedroom. This private suite includes its own bathroom and built-in closets, with windows strategically placed to ensure privacy while maintaining views and natural light. At the center of the plan, near the entry, is the staircase leading to the upper floor, where the children's bedrooms are located. The placement of the stairs is clever. It creates a vertical pivot point that doesn't interrupt the openness of the main living space. One of the most iconic aspects of this plan is the large terrace that wraps around the living room, extending the house outward and blurring the boundaries between interior and exterior. It's not just a place to be, it's a visual extension of the living space. Let's talk now about the interior design of the Bernard Schwartz House, one of the most carefully crafted aspects of the project, and a hallmark of Frank Lloyd Wright's philosophy. For Wright, interior and exterior weren't separate, they were part of a continuous whole. The inside of the house reflects the same geometry, materiality, and spatial logic as the structure itself. The interior is dominated by two materials, red tidewater cypress and brick. The cypress wood is used for ceilings, built-ins, and wall cladding, creating a warm and organic atmosphere. Meanwhile, the brick provides a sense of solidity and grounding, especially around the fireplace, which acts as the psychological and literal heart of the home. There's an extraordinary material continuity. The same elements seen on the outside are brought indoors, blurring boundaries and reinforcing the idea of organic architecture. As in many of his Usonian houses, Wright designed much of the furniture as part of the architecture itself. This includes built-in seating along windows, storage units, shelving, and desks. These pieces are integrated into the structure, reducing visual clutter and encouraging simplicity and order. The ceilings are relatively low compared to traditional American houses. This was intentional. Wright wanted to create a sense of intimacy and protection. He believed that compression in certain areas would make the main living spaces feel more expansive by contrast. One of the most powerful features of the interior is how it handles natural light. Rows of tall windows and clerestories allow daylight to enter deep into the space, changing throughout the day and creating a dynamic, almost spiritual experience. However, while the Bernard Schwartz House remains an architectural icon, it's important to reflect critically on how some aspects of the original design have been altered over time, particularly in terms of material authenticity. Originally, Frank Lloyd Wright specified the use of natural red tidewater cypress throughout the interior, on walls, ceilings, and built-in furniture. This wood wasn't just a finish. It was an essential part of Wright's concept of material continuity, connecting the exterior and interior as one seamless experience. Unfortunately, in some areas of the house today, that beautiful wood has been painted over, replacing its rich natural texture and warmth with flat, opaque surfaces. This change, although possibly well-intentioned for maintenance or aesthetic reasons, significantly undermines one of Wright's core principles, that materials should be honest, visible, and alive. As architects and stewards of cultural heritage, it's our responsibility to preserve not just the form of great architecture, but also its philosophy and material truth. In the case of Still Bend, restoring the natural wood surfaces would bring the house closer to Wright's original vision and renew its architectural integrity. As we come to the end of this exploration of the Bernard Schwartz House, it's clear that this is far more than just a beautiful home. It is a manifesto of Frank Lloyd Wright's architectural philosophy. Every line, every material, every proportion was designed not only for function, but to elevate everyday life. This house speaks of balance, nature, and the dignity of simplicity. It invites us to inhabit space with awareness and intention. But architecture is a living art. As time passes, buildings age, materials change, and interventions, sometimes necessary, can shift a project away from its original essence. That's why it's so important to understand the project deeply before intervening, to study the drawings, the logic, the materiality, and the context with the same rigor and respect with which it was conceived. Preserving architecture is not just about keeping walls standing. It's about preserving ideas, values, and intentions. When we truly understand a project, we're better equipped to restore it with integrity, bringing it back to life, not as a replica, but as a living legacy. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more deep dives into architectural masterpieces, make sure to subscribe and follow us here on FZ Architecture. See you in the next project.